Hello and welcome to this video on Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. In this video, we will be providing a detailed summary of this fascinating book, which explores how our minds work and how we make decisions. Chapter 1: Two Systems. In the first chapter, Kahneman introduces the concept of two systems that govern our thinking. System 1 is fast, automatic, and intuitive, while System 2 is slow, deliberate, and analytical. System 1 operates without our conscious awareness and is responsible for many of the decisions we make. System 2, on the other hand, requires effort and attention and is used for more complex tasks. Chapter 2: Attention and Effort. In Chapter 2, Kahneman discusses the relationship between attention and effort. He explains that attention is a limited resource and that when we use it for one task, we have less available for others. This can lead to mistakes and errors in our thinking. Kahneman also introduces the concept of cognitive load, which refers to the amount of mental effort required to complete a task. Chapter 3: The Lazy Controller. Chapter 3 delves deeper into the workings of System 1 and how it can sometimes lead us astray. Kahneman explains that System 1 is like a lazy controller that prefers to rely on simple rules and heuristics rather than engaging in more complex thinking. This can lead to biases and errors in our decision-making. Chapter 4: The Associative Machine. Chapter 4 focuses on how System 1 creates associations between ideas and concepts. Kahneman explains that these associations can be helpful, but they can also lead to errors and biases. He also introduces the concept of priming, which is when a stimulus influences our behavior or thoughts without our conscious awareness. Chapter 5: Cognitive Ease. In Chapter 5, Kahneman discusses the concept of cognitive ease, which refers to the level of mental effort required to process information. He explains that we tend to prefer things that are easy to understand and that this can sometimes lead to errors in our thinking. Chapter 6: Norms, Surprises, and Causes. Chapter 6 explores how our minds make sense of the world around us. Kahneman explains that we have a natural tendency to create stories and explanations for events, even when there may not be a clear cause and effect relationship. He also discusses the importance of social norms in shaping our behavior. Chapter 7: A Machine for Jumping to Conclusions. Chapter 7 discusses the many ways in which System 1 can lead us astray. Kahneman explains that our minds are prone to jumping to conclusions and that we often make decisions based on incomplete information. He also introduces the concept of overconfidence, which is when we are too confident in our own abilities. Chapter 8: How Judgments Happen. Chapter 8 provides a more detailed look at how we make judgments and decisions. Kahneman explains that our judgments are influenced by many factors, including the way information is presented to us and our own biases and beliefs. He also discusses the concept of availability, which refers to the ease with which information comes to mind. Chapter 9: Answering an Easier Question. In Chapter 9, Kahneman introduces the concept of substitution, which is when we answer a difficult question by substituting an easier one. He explains that this can lead to errors in our thinking and decision-making. Chapter 10: The Law of Small Numbers. Chapter 10 focuses on the way we interpret statistical information. Kahneman explains that we tend to rely too heavily on small samples and that this can lead to errors in our understanding of the world. He also introduces the concept of regression to the mean, which is when extreme events tend to be followed by more average ones.